All right. So we're going to be debating about the benefits of having sex before and after marriage. So Ryan's going to be debating on the side of sex before marriage, and I'll be debating for sex after marriage. So I am debating for sex after marriage because I believe that it keeps it more of a pure thing. I believe that it also prevents things like uh, unwanted children. I guess I would say it's decreases abortion. It and I would also think that it would prevent poverty because people who have children at an unready time usually end up struggling more. And um, I think that if you wait until marriage, most people only get married when they're either ready or they feel forced into it because of the child. So I think that if someone were to wait until marriage, they would have a more fulfilling life and they would have a child brought into the world that they could better support. So that's my first take.
All right. So to counteract that, pretty much the reason why I say I support sex before marriage is there's a lot of like scientific proof of why sex before marriage is actually, or just sex in general, is good. Sex releases stress and boosts like immunities in your body and helps your heart and sleep to perform better, and that's scientifically proven. So it's not saying that sex is bad, and it helps two people grow together rather than hope and wait. Because say if I'm with a person and we wait until marriage and we don't get married and they go on and have sex with someone else, they're going to have a more physical attraction towards them, while I have an emotional side to them, and it's not going to really counter lock with each other. And for the people that are going basis off of like religion and like Catholics and like Christians, all that, they say, oh, we have to wait towards marriage, this and that. I I believe that's a good reason to, but at the same time, it's like, in my personal opinion, we live in a society that it's not always about sex, but sex is a big part in our society. In songs, movies, everything, everything we hear, we listen to, we see, talks about sex, drugs, and like that type of premises. So subconsciously, that's what we are thinking about, and our brain is mentally preparing and wants us to do and see. So I feel like us waiting for that is basically halting our life experience of not having that fun and good relationship, not relationship, like good fun experience to enjoying life and having fun like that in that type of way. And that's my reasoning for sex before marriage type of thing.
All right. So my counter argument is I don't think that a lot of the current culture is a good thing. I don't think that uh, you were saying that a lot of people they watch movies and all these things and they see that like sex like we've all seen the high school movie where like the kids just trying to get laid, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's not uh, necessarily a good thing. I think that's just a almost like a appropriated culture, sort of like it like not appropriated, but just kind of pushed on culture
Mm-hmm.
of just pressuring kids to like lose their virginity quicker. And like I said, that that because of that, there's you know increase of STDs at that age, uh, young parenthood, teenage moms, whatever. And there's also you were saying that they grow together, but I read a study about uh that was conducted where actually the relationship stability was at 22% higher if they waited until marriage, which I found was like very surprising because some people would say you got to test drive the car before you buy it,
Hmm.
but apparently that's not the case. Like it probably what my reasoning is that it lets you get to know the person more as an actual being than like a lustful kind of reaction towards someone.
All right. To counteract that, I have a couple like pointers. The thing with the STDs and how it's like you're saying that the culture nowadays like pushing forward. It probably will be pushing it forward because like that's the whole premises of the music and movies nowadays. They are subconsciously pushing this narrative forward of having sex, and doing all the non let's say right things that our parents taught us to do. But I'm not saying to go around just having sex with anyone and everyone. I'm saying it's like if you have this romantic relationship with this person and you're trying to grow together and learn more about each other, it's fine to have premarital sex. And I'm not saying go in raw, like to always use protection and be protective about it, like not to go and act all careless. And you said, what was your last point again?
The relationship stability.
Relationship stability. All right. To go off of that, I'm gonna say, let me see. All right. So let me say to go off that one point that you said that they grow closer together, and it's better for them to wait it out and not just have sex, and the relationship is just built off sex. So say if I'm with a female and we're together for 2 3 years and we haven't had sex, but in those 3 years, in the 3 years after that, I've had sex with her. Does that mean our relationship was just built off sex, but whereas we were 3 years down the line and we agreed upon having sex, and then we were growing together even more now that we got that much closer together, type of thing.
Mhm.
So it's not like we built our relationship off of sex, but in all actuality, we grew together upon the years, then had sex, and then we could grow even more together and eventually get married.
Do you think that's what most kids are doing though? They're waiting 3 years with a girl.
You're right, but that's not the argument we're trying to put here. The argument is if it's right or wrong. And that's in that case, in sense, I feel like that's the most right way of premarital sex is finding that one person that you truly care about and want to see yourself be with in the future, and you guys grow together and come down the line. If you guys really want to test new things out and have that special bond, it's to try new things type of thing. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
like you just go right in like, hey, we're together, month down the line, let's go have sex. I don't believe that. I believe that it takes time and growth. Then you could go into having sex and all that.
I think the mentality of like a person, like let's get off of kids. Let's go to adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Someone our age, like we meet a girl, and probably within like the first 3 dates, we'll probably have sex, right? And I think if you instead went in with like the mentality to for marriage, like you're out, you're looking for a girl to marry. You're like you want to build a relationship, all this instead of like going out to just find a girl that's kind of hot and like you can just holler at. Like I think that if you go in looking for like a wifey, that you have a more you live a less dangerous life and you live a more fulfilling life. Like I said, you're not gonna have kids with some girl that you've seen 3 times. If you're looking for marriage, you're gonna wait. You're gonna sit on it. You're gonna test her out, feel the waters, you know. And you're gonna and STDs, very big thing, especially in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I also think that like I think sex should be like held in a higher regard. Like it shouldn't like sure there might be like health benefits, but there's also a lot of health consequences to
Gotcha.
sex. So, and I think like relieving stress, like you can do that on your own. Like you don't need a girl for that, really. So I think that if you I think that it'll bring down like divorce rates for sure. And and think about the kid. Like, let's say you have premarital sex with some girl that it turns out you don't really like her. Now you're getting a divorce. The kid's got something going on with him now. He's gonna have like,
But
anxiety
but divorce can happen anywhere. I could have non-premarital sex and divorce still happens.
for sure. But I would argue that divorce rates are higher
Is
for
that scientifically
someone
proven?
for someone who
Is that proven?
I don't got it on me right now, but
Uh,
I think that divorce rates are higher uh with people who have children before marriage than after,
all right.
for sure.
All right. I'm just. I think this is really long, so I think we should just leave it off here.
Oh,
All right.
okay, cool. We hit 3 minutes.
Yeah. I think a little more than 3 minutes.
Oh,